And we are live, motherfuckers. Well, I was supposed to do the intro, and I realized I have no clue what to say. But this is episode 7, and yes, we're back. It's been we had a week break. You will not notice it. All the subscribers, all 6 of you, will not notice because we keep the flow up. We have had some episodes in the back pocket, but this is episode 7, and CJ has done the famous Högskoleprovet, or we can call it SATs. He has done the exam. We have no idea, or I have no idea how it went. Well, maybe we should just, or maybe, I don't know, have you something to say?
No, we can dive right. I'm saying hello to the 6 subscriber, and one of those subscribers is me. And
hello.
Hello. And let's dive into the SATs, the exam, the exam. Yeah. Wow, it was this Saturday, and it's a marathon of writing exam. To say the least. Or is it a triathlon? I don't know, but
it's crazy. I mean, I don't know any exam that is that long. I mean, it's from what is it, from 8 or 9 until 3?
Yeah.
It's so long.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's like 5 hours of only like 100% focus.
Yeah,
and some lunch and breaks in between, and I didn't feel tired yesterday, but I was tired now. I was at the gym right before this, and I wasn't feeling it really. It was I took it easy. But let's go straight to the day, let's do it the week before actually, because I had a different type of run up the week before, because the last 2 times I did it, it was like I was a wreck, like emotional wreck before the exam. So it was really nice to just be calm and happy and be like in the best mood of my life. So that's been great. And yes, taking like easy, going to bed half an hour early each night, well rested. But either way, like I'm so when it comes to the Friday night to Saturday, like when it's hard for me to sleep. It's I don't want to I wake up figuring out, oh, is this clock, is it alarm set, or what's gonna happen? Yeah. But it was fine. The exam, once I did the first exam, everything started rolling basically, and it felt pretty good until like after lunch. Then I got a bit distracted, unfocused, and I ended like feeling a bit of dukkha. I felt a bit low when it was over, because I didn't feel like I got the answers that I wanted. I didn't feel like, I know this is right, or stuff like that. I was very stressed in the end, and I had a feeling of this will not be enough for. This will not be sufficient to get in. That's what I felt, and I felt really. I didn't feel really. I just felt generally low, like feeling like, okay, I did good, but this isn't enough, or and it was. But when I got home and I took it easy for a couple hours, and then I made food, and then it's all changed, and then it was like. It's fine. It doesn't matter what. I know if I don't get in now, I know what I need to do. I need to just continue studying, and I know how it works. The more you like how to get to learn things, so it's fine. I feel content with I feel very happy for my progress, and I feel very that it feels good. At the same time, we don't know until Wednesday when they release the correct answers. Then I might know what kind of how many correct answers I got. But then it's another month after that to see what's the real grade is. So yeah.
Oh, so you have to wait until Wednesday because that's a long time.
They changed it. Yeah, after you did it because of all the cheating.
Okay.
So on Wednesday they will release the correct answers, and then I can see approximately how many what I could possibly get in terms of grade. But the whole thing will be on like in May, sometime in May.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah. So yeah. Any questions?
I don't know. I mean, no, not any questions in general about that. I mean, it's just an exam. I mean, since I've done the exam too, I know the feeling that you sort of want to get to get what you want, sort of. But I mean, it's just you can do it again then.
Can you start over?
I mean, yeah, it's just an exam, basically.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Like that.
Well, I just said it's just an exam. It doesn't really matter that whatever happens. So that's...
Yeah. And I felt it, and I wrote you that as well, and that felt... Yeah, it felt really... It felt fine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I felt like it was slipping away, like the stress or like got a hold of me a bit in the end. But yeah, it was a different type of feeling the whole day. I didn't need to like go through the motions of like pepping myself or like going like like all these things. I was calm and like be present. I know there was it's a lot. It isn't a lot of. It doesn't take that much energy. Then all the time like trying to keep this steam going, basically.
Yeah,
that's nice. Yeah.
Well, if I am gonna relate this to something that I'm thinking of right now is that there is like a few meditation teachers that I'm following now, and a lot of them are talking about like there's like a small movement or whatever that wants to basically to meditate and do the most effective meditation possible for them to get sort of the farthest they can on the path or whatever. It's to get what's called stream entry and all these different paths that is on this meditation journey. And there have been a lot of people that are like meditation teachers that's been talked about that it might not be so good for you to actually lose your ego before you are sort of mentally able to do this. Like it's not so healthy. Like that, I mean, this is very common when people do psychedelics. Like for some people that might be very healthy for them because they can see their life in a different way and they become a better person. And for some people they go crazy and they just jump out of a window and die or whatever. They do crazy stuff. So it's not healthy for everyone. And I mean the notion or the idea that sort of you get what maybe certain things just needs to take time, and when you're ready for it, you're ready for it. And maybe you don't want, I mean, you want stuff when you want it, but maybe that's just life telling you sort of, well, when you get it, and that's then you're ripe for it. I mean,
yeah. And I feel content that knowing that, because I really feel like when we talked about like coaches and stuff, like, and I really got to the next level. I feel with in terms of how I am at math, and I really like stepped up my game there. And what my ego wants is like at least I got more points than last time.
Yeah.
And the rest is like I'm content because I know, like I saw a YouTube video last week about like how do you learn things, or like take them as like since we like watch so much, we're on the internet so much, is such amount of data we watch, and you don't really take in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like you have to, if you want to learn something and put it in like long-term memory, you have to like redo it every, like if you do it in a month, you have to do that 10 times, repeating.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like with the math. Like now I'm on the next level, and now I just need to repeat it to get that information.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't happen now, it will happen the next time. So it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. or else there will be something else for me. So
yeah.
For
sure. I mean, there's a lot you can do in this life. I mean, you never know. That's the thing. That's also a good thing to learn, that you never know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. And it's interesting as well now that it's because I felt so great doing all this studying.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what I'm gonna fill my time with now to get the same type of satisfaction.
Yeah.
But I'm probably gonna say to myself that I'm gonna read more books and maybe start to meditate more, like longer times. So to feel.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Longer sits. It's nice.
It is nice. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It happens like more things. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And that's, I mean, yeah. I mean, I can always talk about meditation, but I mean, you can then do longer sits. I mean, that's a good. I always think that's a good idea. Longer sits are nice. I mean, and then you also, if you want to think of it as a productive way, I don't know if you want that, but if you want to, I mean, you're able to get more focused, and those or clarity stuff. It can help in exams or whatever exam. I mean, if you get into the school you want, I mean, there's gonna be more exams, so focus is always good. So
yeah, and if you're listening to this and you like, there's so many benefits to like meditation, because it will help you in so many parts of your life in terms of attaining the focus and staying present and see things for what they really are. And it's if there's something you should do, then it's
because maybe on this topic, then because there's another thing that I've been thinking about, and also the teacher I have at the moment, he's very good at this, and he basically got enlightened or awakened or liberated. Maybe it's the nicest word, when he was like 23 or something, very young, and he's 36 now, and he's a psychologist, so he's basically what I wanted. So what he says, and his approach is very interesting, because he goes, but maybe the practice you do in the meditation technique or whatever, he's, instead of looking at the practice in itself, how that's progressing, he's he asks, well, how does your life change? How does your behavior change? What is happening around? I mean, the technique itself is just a technique. It's just like you keep doing this for whatever hours a day or whatever, and then, but what else is changing? Is anything else? And that's, I never really heard this approach before, and I like it a lot, because it's one thing to just sort of, yes, be able to focus or be able to just be present. That's one thing, but also it's very, I think the behavior changes and all those things are very important and very almost more interesting than the I mean, one thing is a bit almost like, the other things can be helpful for other people as well. If you change your behavior, you can help other people and be a support for this world. That if you just sort of don't have an ego, it's just benefiting yourself, basically. Although you can, those things together obviously makes an even better impact. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, it resonates with me because I told you about this meditation teacher called Marcus Atmananda. Probably getting his spiritual name wrong, but he had like an anecdote about this as well. Like there was this woman asking him like, I don't feel I'm getting any better at meditation. Oh, and he said, oh really? But the woman, but my family is getting nicer. So that's like, so it's like she didn't feel that like any progress in the terms of the technique, but somehow like the meditation made her more appreciative or like thankful or could see things in different lights with her family, and that's the real benefit, basically. Like you're saying, like it's making her see things in a different way, and thus making her existence or her relationships easier to maintain, and thus more happiness, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're out for happiness, that is.
But isn't that like the most? I this is when I was I think quite small. The husband to my mother, not my father, so my stepfather, basically, whatever. He asked me, so what, like, if you could have one wish or whatever, and like, what would you want? So what? And I don't know what I said. Probably just like a lot of money or something like that. And then he said, well, if you can only have one thing, then I would choose happiness. That I want to be happy. And that sort of just stuck with me. I don't know how old I was when he said this, but that makes so much sense. Isn't that what everyone wants, just to be happy or like content, at least, sort of? That's like, then you don't need anything else.
But
right?
That's, and it's I was at my like psychotherapist today, and she like asked me to like what's it called, not grade, but maybe grade like the things like that I'm like the things that I'm involved in, like what is the most beneficial or something. And I was like, I got my like, the only thing I could like feel that I couldn't really be without was like my best friend Eric. That's what I felt, and the rest was like it's nice and it's good, but it's like I don't need it.
Oh,
because I'm giving it to myself, basically.
And what will you say? I didn't get what did you say about Eric? Like he was
my best friend Eric.
Yeah. He got the highest grade. Or
yeah, he got like the thing that I like all the things like I mean, but I like this I talked about this podcast, and I really enjoy this.
Yeah.
But it's also like it's not. I don't cling to it. It's like if it were to end, it's also fine, I guess. But it's like the what I'm saying is like I'm creating the the happiness for myself in myself.
Yeah.
But
what's the difference between the? I'm just curious that.
Yeah.
So what's the difference, for example, with this podcast and Eric? Like, so do you cling Eric, or is like
I think,
do you think you need him because otherwise you wouldn't be as happy as you are? Is that?
But I think I'm not that I need him, but I feel that when I'm able to be the most myself, I guess, when I'm with him. Yeah. And then if you take, I mean, like let's talk about like when a man group or man circle.
Yeah.
And in terms of like how I'm there, I'm basically not taking. I'm not what it's called in English. It's called. I'm not taking what's mine, or I'm not taking space. Basically, I'm not being that. Jag tar inte för mig. Yeah, I'm being a. I'm not, yeah, I'm not like. I'm like, okay, I will take like another round or like 2 rounds in my head before I do or say something.
I like you overthink stuff, or
maybe, but I'm not. I get a thought. Let's do this, or like I'm really. This should like be said, or this should help somebody. But like I just hold this thought and just don't say it. Yeah. But
and you feel that holding the thought or whatever, not saying, do you feel that isn't like the true you, or is it just that like
I'm not as authentic, I think, because I think it's the same the way when I'm with you and Carmen and all of your like all of you, and it's then I'm really also like I'm taking space. I'm taking like it just goes. I'm even more authentic, but there's like in the man circle, I tend to like take a step backward rather than taking a step forward in terms of taking like being in the middle, basically.
I have, because I thought about this last week, that I don't really like being in bigger groups. Like for me, when it's more than like 3, 4, I don't really like that. I'm the best when I'm like one-on-one. That's my peak area, my peak zone.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're gonna add people in, I mean, of course it's easier if I'm comfortable with the people. So let's say, if you add my wife Carmen or whatever, it's easier because it doesn't change the dynamic so much. But the more people you add, the sort of I feel that I go downhill or whatever. I mean, I'm not as is that something similar to what you're saying?
I think because in terms of it's really obvious in the man circle when we are like if you're 10 or more, then I'm not taking as much space, because then I will be more mindful or more like thinking about not taking so much space or time. But when we're less than maybe 10 or maybe 8, then I'm more like, okay, I will be like you're saying, like I will be more I will be peak me. What is called? Be more peak me or something like that. Then will be like, then I will be more like showing off or like taking space, basically.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like in terms of being confident with the number of people.
Yeah, or just what you
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, for me at least, that has a huge effect. I mean, I find it almost easier that it even is one-on-one, or if it's like a even bigger group, because but maybe that's because if you're in a big group, I mean, it depends on the group, I guess. I mean, especially like 5 or 6, that's like the worst group to be in, because then it's like you can talk to everyone, or you can talk to one, or you can talk to like 2, and you can like switch to people all over the place. And that's fucking terrible. You don't know what you're doing, and man, this sucks. I just want to talk to one person, basically. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but kind of like that. And also maybe because if you're in a bigger group, it's sort of like you go in and out so much. Like you talk to one person, and then you talk to the whole group, and then you talk. So it doesn't. And I want to talk about like one topic at a time, or so. Maybe I'm just too like I can't think that. Maybe I haven't been in that many groups. I don't know. It's like I'm just not used to it. One person at a time.
Yeah, but that's actually good. Like when there is that a certain type of consensus that like you let somebody speak and everybody listens. That's super nice.
Yeah.
In terms of like when friends, when you have friends over.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But I think it's the same for like especially if you talk to like someone that you're not that close to. I don't know that's the man circle. I don't know how close you are, but for me it's easier to talk to one person like, and then to get something going. And then, man, I totally lost what I'm supposed to say. Totally lost my train of thought.
Tanketåget. Det har gått.
I have no idea what.
Yeah, I could speak of tantra.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like 2 weeks ago, this Saturday. Oh, 1 week, like not this Saturday, but last Saturday after that. I was in a tantra evening, and we did a very interesting, to say the least, type of exercise, or what do you call it? Like where if you had a penis, then you were supposed to like having a mantra that you were a penis. And if you had a vulva, then you're supposed to like you become your genitals basically.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like
you're saying it like a mantra, like a verbal mantra.
That and like feeling like, okay, I'm a penis. Like how does a penis work, or like how does it move or whatever? Yeah, like get into the being a penis or a vulva. Now there is like, or no, like the Skype can't handle penises. We're back and we're talking about tantra and being a penis, and there was a part of like the exercise where we're supposed to be like two penises to like sitting like across from each other.
Yeah.
So like two men, like, and we're supposed to like the other one should like be doing like this, finding the rhythm or finding this your inner penis or being in the penis, and the other person was supposed to like watch basically, like feeling the being watched and like being in your I don't know what's it called, lust or something. Yeah. And when I was done with my turn and we were like going to share, then it was a dawn on me that
wait, you turn on, like you were done with what? Like you were done with both of them, like
yeah, the turns, and we're like supposed to share, and it really dawned on me like when I was doing it, like I had to think about somebody, like a person, like a woman, to be able to like conjure those like feelings of being not a penis, but feeling like, I don't know what it's called, lust or something. I don't know, like sexual feelings, I guess. This is hard in English. Yeah, what?
Attraction?
Yeah, attraction or a sensation of being like in a attraction, I guess. Something, I don't know what it's called, I guess. But
so
This is really hard in English.
Yeah, but okay, so the one person was supposed to sort of feeling their genitals, I mean, like in a mental way, not in a or whatever.
They could do either,
Okay, and then they supposed to sort of put like a movement on their body of this feeling.
Yeah.
Is that I'm understanding this correctly?
If you're feeling like I should move, then you move. If you just sit there, then it's fine. You're like finding your
way to express your
being.
And then the other one who was sort of identifying as the same genital were watching, and that person was supposed to feel attraction to the other one, or is it just feel love, or just watch
send love, yes,
okay.
like giving like support, basically
giving a support for the other person. Okay.
So it's good that you're like decrypting what I'm saying, basically. And when I was done, we shared. We were both done, and we shared. And it was like I realized that, like all the, like I'm not, instead of being like with the feelings, or like being in the moment.
Yes.
I put a thought in my head that is supposed to get me going or feel attraction. And it was like, oh man, what have you been doing this the whole time? It was like, if you say that this color is green, and I'm saying it's like blue, like it's like, and I realized I've been like doing it wrong this whole time. Not doing it wrong, but like doing it in a way that's not really beneficial.
But how does this? What is this knowledge? How can you what is this knowledge giving you?
But it's like it's in terms of like if I were to masturbate or have sex, then it's like if I were to have sex, like the thing, I wouldn't be as present because I will be thinking about having sex, not do. That was like the realization, like I'm doing like I'm taking a way around this.
You're not feeling it. You have a mental representation of how it feels or what it's.
I'm experiencing it through a filter, basically.
Yeah.
And that was like, what? That was like, oh man, why have you been doing that the whole time?
Okay, then I'm gonna recommend a book for you.
Oh, really?
And then I think you're gonna like this book, and I think it's called. Man, I have this book that I getting off without getting off. I'm gonna do a quick Google here.
Yeah, I will cut it out if it would. Yeah. Getting off, but it sounds that's actually what I'm not saying that I want to do exactly that, but that's in terms of I want to be connected when I'm
but this book is totally about this.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna if I can't find here it is. Yeah, good sex, getting off without checking out.
Oh, that's a good title. Yeah.
So
who wrote this?
Who wrote it? She's called Jessica Graham, and she's also a meditation teacher. Who would guess? So I'm gonna put this in the.
This time it will be in the descriptions. Yeah.
Because now I googled it and I also copied the paste.
Nice.
So this book I haven't really. I can't say that I have read the whole thing. I have looked through it. But it's really, it has, there's also, maybe, okay, I can link this too. There's a podcast about her where she talks about this book and why it's good and stuff. And it's basically a combination of like Tantra and meditation and stuff like how to be in the body, and not get in your head.
Yeah,
pretty much what you're talking about. It's a nice yeah, it's a good book, and it's also, you can do it. I mean, there is exercises both for yourself and like this is not just like sexual, but then you can do it for yourself and you also with a partner or in a group. I like meditation techniques and stuff. So it's a good book, good an interesting topic. I think I find.
And I was with my friends yesterday, like watching a movie, and I brought this up because we began to talk about how like blind people, how they like what if they watch porn or what they do to get aroused, basically. And then I said this thing, like maybe they just feel their body, they just be in the moment and just like caresses themselves and like jerk off or like touch themselves. And this was so and how I interpreted my friend's reaction to this was like, how is this even possible? They were like thinking so like somewhere else about, what do you mean? Like you watch porn or you think about something like sexy. That's what you do when you're masturbation. You don't touch, you don't feel yourself. You don't be in the moment.
Yeah.
And it was like, this isn't even possible. What are you talking about? But
I see what you were coming. Now I'm understanding. I'm seeing the big picture. Of realization. I mean, that's a big realization.
But I'm not saying that you always need to, if you're having sex or you're masturbating, that you have to be present or you have to be doing it because you. You can be doing it for a number of reasons, and if that's fine for you, then that's okay. Then it's fine. But I don't want to like have it as a, I don't know, taking my like waste of time, not waste of time, but like thing that I do for passing time, basically. I wanted to have I want to matter in a certain way, like be a connection to myself or to somebody else.
I think that's I mean, of course, do what you want with your own bodies. That's, I mean, so
very important.
No shame, but I think there is something to what you're saying, and then also, I mean, this hashtag #NoFap. Have you seen that? I mean, that's been around for some time now.
Can you describe what it is?
Hashtag #NoFap. No, NoFap. Like basically not masturbating. And this is, I mean, the tendency around these topics seems to be that men do it too much, like they watch too much porn and masturbate way too much. And I mean, this is just my opinion now, and this is the tendencies, but I think that how it is, and that women tends to not do like as much, so to say. I mean, they're not masturbating as much as they should do, and this is a super generalization, but I mean, some sort of trend that seems to be, that's how it seems to be, and that's. But this like hashtag #NoFap is, I think, is just to not masturbate, and how the benefits of not doing it, basically. And I think there is a lot of benefits to go that route, especially if you talk about it in a spiritual way. I mean, this is like a tricky topic, because there's no point of shaming or doing so, like do whatever you want, basically. But if you're interested, I mean, and as you say, maybe like a time-consuming, time-wasting, whatever. I mean, if that's, maybe you should do something about it. Maybe, I mean, it's
That's it's interesting, because I'm totally with you, because it's, if you feel like there is a thought in your head that's like, maybe I'm doing this for the wrong reason, or whatever it is, then maybe it's time to be a bit more conscious of what you're doing and what it's creating in you. But it's at the same time, it's like I listen to, there's a Swedish podcast called Februaripodden, the February podcast, which talks a lot about like impotence, especially in men, and they talk about like this like not masturbating trend, and how it's basically born out of like Christian ideas, like but they tend to like support it with the scientific studies, which isn't scientific studies at all. They just like basically like, okay, this is how your brain lights up when you're watching porn, and it has nothing to do with it. But at the same time, I think it's that you should be conscious of what you're doing.
Yeah, and I mean, the approach, the middle way, I mean, is sort of, well, don't watch anything. Do whatever, like masturbate as much as you want. Just don't watch any porn or whatever. Just do. Or you mean watch? You can watch The Wall or whatever, but don't watch anything that is sort of like if you were massaging your foot, you know. That I mean, that's
No, but yeah, and then I also want to add, like, in terms of like this like no masturbation teachers or where that is like this trend. It's usually like I've become addicted to porn, or I'm not able to get it up, and it's like it's probably I don't know what the science is behind this, but probably it's more like a social anxiety or like something else that's causing your problem than your masturbation and stuff like that. So yeah,
that makes sense.
But if you don't feel like watching porn and you feel you should stop, then just stop. And
I mean, there's a lot of this NoFap, and I also recommend this book that I haven't read, obviously. So I mean, I think those are really getting into these topics, and I mean, there is. I just remember watching or seeing a TED talk about this about porn, and maybe that's the lighting up. It's not like you like there's so much to choose from, and then it's like connecting to your brain, and then sort of so many potential mates or whatever, and that's and then you and that's get you going basically. But I've actually never really enjoyed the porn that much at all, and haven't watched it. And I don't know. I don't even know when it was the last time. So I think the biggest benefit is to not. I mean, otherwise there's like you have mental pictures, like it's still in your head, and those disappear obviously because you don't have it. It's like when you watch any movie and then you go to bed and then you wake up today, maybe you think about the movie. I mean, this is the same with whatever you're watching. And if you watch porn, those images are gonna get like they're still in your head in a way, and then you can get, I mean, distracted or whatever, and in the sense that it's sort of, maybe it's not what you want to do, and maybe the porn industry is not something that you want to support either. So and that's still no shaming. I'm just saying what I feel about this topic. I find there is something interesting, of at least, I mean, I say keep do whatever what you want with your body. But I mean, there's an interesting part of not watching so much porn, at least. That's.
And it was I can't remember. I think it was a Russell Brand podcast episode where I was talking to maybe it was like a sexual counselor or something like that. I don't know what it's called. And then there was this Indian couple who made like the difference. They talked about the difference of like the porn, how porn like influences you in what type of sexual acts you will be doing, like how the sex should look like.
Yeah.
Like what's the type of about how it progresses basically in terms of the sex act or something like that. And then they talked about this Indian couple who have never watched porn, but they decided to tape themselves having sex, and they didn't like conform to all this stereotype of like how you're supposed to. They was like doing the things they thought or felt was good for them. So it was like totally different. And it was like they talked about how this template of what porn does to you. Like this is how what's it called? Samlag, how
intercourse.
Yeah, intercourse looks like. And they haven't like, okay, this feels good for us and this is how we do it. And it was like, that's so beautiful when you're like, they don't care about how it should look like. This just feels good. They're just in the moment doing it and not thinking about, okay, it should be a doggy style now and then the missionary or whatever, like in those type of templates or thoughts, basically. And I thought it was really interesting to hear about that, basically, that you could how it would be like if you were not affected by porn, basically.
Yeah, I mean, now I'm thinking I was lagging a bit, but I think that makes a lot of sense because just the idea you have about watching a lot of like romantic movies or stuff like that, you have an idea that is, are you supposed to get married and in a church and all this, which I have done, but still, I mean, you get these ideas somewhere, and I mean, is that, you know, you would be naive to say you don't get influenced by what you're watching. I mean, that's like the only thing you know that is true, that whatever you're consuming is gonna affect you and the way you think and the way you perceive reality. And if you watch a lot of porn, I mean, that's you're gonna think you want a lot of porn or like that in your life. I would suspect, at least.
Yeah. I think that's a very good point, because that's very good the way you stress like the no shame. That is like the way you want to do it and how you want to be in a relationship or have sex. That's always your prerogative. That's how you like it. You should never like compare it to. You can compare it, but you should never like be like mindful about what you're doing, basically. Yeah, because like I talked about this. I listened to a podcast with the founder of School of Life. I talked about this earlier, and Alain de Botton, and it talked about like relationships being that a long relationship is always better. It's always has more value because it's long. And he talked about like that's a stupid like as a measurement of value. Like if a movie is if it's long, it doesn't make it good. And it's like if it's a lot of things doesn't be better because it's long. A short relationship where it was like that probably could have been better in terms of the reasoning behind it. And also he talked about, and there was a thing that really resonated with me, or like, I never had a very long relationship, and sometimes I felt like I was being judgmental about that towards myself. But then, like, after that podcast, I'm like, but I'm very good at relationships, actually. I have like all this wonderful relationship with my friends, and just because I haven't had a long romantic relationship doesn't mean I'm bad at relationships.
No.
So it was like, it's really reframed my my cognitive thinking about it and about me. So it was really, yeah, I think it's very like, you shouldn't always like look to the, okay, how is the mainstream relationship looking? Is that a thing that you want, or is that like beneficial for you? Okay, then you maybe want to like module after it. But if you feel like this doesn't speak to me, then fuck it, chug it, like remove it, and to find somebody else that you could like look up to, like a relationship. It's, it's so many ways to have a relationship. So many ways. It can be like, it can be one person, it can be two person, it can be three person, it can be five, it could be whatever you want. Don't let like Hollywood movies hold you back in terms of what you like or what you love, basically.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's very true. And also to sort of, I don't know, to tie this up in some way, that we spoke about before, like behavioral change and stuff like that. I mean, I would say that think about the way you want to be in life, and like not that no, like, still there's no shame in anything, but how do you want, like, what do you want porn to be part of your life? Yeah, that's fine. But maybe you don't, and then it's fine to try to not be like that. And that's same with relationship. If you want to, like, how do you want to have it? 1, 2, 3, a machine, a cat, maybe not sexual, but still, it's great. You can have a great relationship with animals. That's or a machine. I mean, that's more and more common to have it with an operating system. Maybe one of our 6 followers, or one is you. So maybe, maybe as well. Maybe one of them have a system operating. OS, operating system relationship. So are we? Do you have anything else? Are we?
Well, yeah, I'm going to another tantra. I'm going to a tantra retreat this weekend, so that will be I'm just keep on going on with the flow. It's really like
That's great. Then we have a lot to talk about the next episode. And I'm gonna drop something before. This is not that big. You're having much more sort of. I mean, tantra is more, it's more explosive. But I'm gonna have a meditation interview on Wednesday with my teacher, so that's gonna be very interesting for me at least. So I can share what happened on that one. So
remember, Philip, you need to prepare yourself, because why do you need to prepare?
For this meditation interview? Why do I need to prepare? Because it's only 25 minutes, so I want to ask the questions and get some good answers on these 25 minutes.
Like, great that you're getting a mentor. I'm actually, that sounds really good, actually. I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to hearing about this interview, what you have learned. But you also got, like, you got a baby. You have a lot of things that can blow your mind with like learning to say a word or something like that. That's always so interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So next episode is gonna be even better.
Yeah, even better.
This one.
And
there's
I'm
even
also
more.
gonna promise you guys, all the 5 subscriber and me, that I'm gonna put it out on audios only as well. I'm gonna make that happen. And
you're working like a motherfucker, so that's great. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Keep up the love, keep up doing what you want with your body, meditate longer. I don't know, get a mentor. If you haven't listened to that episode, the last one, you can understand. Just listen to the next one, and thank you for listening to this one.
Yeah, thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. Good night.
Good night.